Wierzbańska. So Magda, can you take it over?
Thank you, Kasia. Hello, everyone. And today we have the pleasure to have Joanna Mach as our guest. And Joanna is an experienced English and IT teacher who has been organizing virtual exchanges for more than 10 years. And her projects receive international recognition and are among the winning projects in European and Polish competitions. And Joanna, we are very grateful to have you here, and the floor is yours.
Uh, Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you very much to invite me to share my work. I've been working as a teacher for the past 17 years, and every day I'm learning a lot. I'm learning by observing my students. I'm learning from my students and from the people around, and I'm looking for some new ways to motivate my students, because the students from 15 years ago and the students now, they are completely two different worlds. So they require new methods and new ideas and new approaches. Tonight I was invited to tell you about one of my projects, A Rainbow of Emotions, as an example of a project which was supposed to be inclusive and cater for diverse students' needs. And if time allows, I will be happy to share with you some activities from a project which I call a sequel to A Rainbow of Emotions, and that's Discover Yourself. First of all, let's take a look at the topic of inclusion in education. Inclusion in education is a practice of ensuring that all learners, regardless of abilities, disabilities, language, background, culture, are welcomed, supported, and able to participate meaningfully in the same educational context. So it's very much about meeting the learner's special needs. When I think about inclusion, the following things come to my mind. It's removing barriers. They can be physical barriers. So, for instance, facilities like wheelchair ramps, but also barriers in materials. So we adapt materials, we adapt our learning methods. Inclusion is about the sense of belonging to the school community. We are not on the margin. We are not invisible. We are the members of the school society. It's a chance to develop and chance to participate for every student. It's about respecting diversity and about equity. Equity in the sense that every learner gets what he or she needs. It's not that everyone gets the same. They get what they really need. And here I would like to stress the fact that inclusion is not only about students with disabilities. Inclusion is not simply putting the students into the classroom, and it's not about lowering expectations, because I strongly believe that every student, a gifted student, a standard student, so to say, and a student with disabilities needs a challenge, needs some hardships on the way. Challenges help our brain develop. Challenges and hardships help create neural connections. They cannot be the tasks cannot be too hard, because they can be demotivating, but they should be slightly harder to involve the students and make them start looking for solutions and working the problems out. Some of you could tell me now that inclusion in a public school is very hard. Some of you could even say that it's even maybe impossible, this real true inclusion in in mainstream education. And I agree that it's very, very hard because we have large class sizes, many different problems. Students can be sometimes disruptive. There are some time constraints, curriculum pressure, and maybe we lack resources, maybe we lack proper training. Yes, inclusion is not an easy thing, but we need to try anyway because we have those problems with special needs in our classrooms. And for me, virtual exchange programs such as eTwinning is a wonderful way to make every student feel welcomed, to make every student participate in a way that is possible for them because eTwinning is quite flexible. We can adjust the pace to our group. The students can contribute in multiple formats. They can choose the roles that they feel safe in. They can choose roles that suit their strengths. They can find the time and the moment to shine and to show I am good at something. Maybe not I'm good at maths, at Polish, but there are some things that I'm good at. Maybe I'm good at drawing, maybe I'm good at painting, at singing, miming, maybe I can build something nice. Different activities that we use in our project works can help every student get engaged. And now I think the part which is after this introduction can be a bit more interesting maybe, and that's the project A Rainbow of Emotions. In the photo you can see me, my colleague Renata, who is the class teacher of the students, and my little color monsters. We were working together for a year in the project together with the teachers and the students from Germany, Italy, and Spain. Some of the partners said they would like to join the webinar. I'm not sure if they did, but if you are here, I'm saying hello to you and thank you again for great work. Special thanks to Maria Mortato from Italy, who was the co-founder of the project and a great support. Before I tell you more about things that we did in the project, it can be important to know what kind of students I was working with. I was working with and I still work because I still teach the students. In this slide, you can see a list of special needs. These are the needs listed in the regulation from the Polish Ministry of Education. This is a regulation on the rules for organization and provision of psychological and educational support. So as you can see, special needs are about disabilities, about learning disorders, but also about special talents. So we have different kinds of students that we need to cater for. And in my group, I had an autistic student, so we have a disability. I had some students with behavioral and emotional disorders, which might put them later at risk of social maladjustment or risk of exclusion because of their extraordinary behaviors in the classroom and during the breaks. In the group, there were some really weak students, and it's impossible to talk about specific learning disorders with the students at the age of 7. It's too early. But even then, we could spot some early signs of future difficulties. And now the students are in grade 4. And the things that we noticed then were confirmed now, and some students are currently being diagnosed for dyslexia, for dysgraphia. So at the time, even then in class 1, there were some early signs of specific learning disorders visible. In the group, there is a girl with diabetes. In the group, there is a student from Ukraine who fled from war. So we have trauma experiences and adaptation issues due to changing school. There is a student who lacks support in the home environment, and there are some students with special talents. One boy has a special gift for English. When he was in class 1, he was trying hard to communicate and he was asking lots of questions. There is a girl who plays the piano beautifully. So we also have special talents in our group. So as you can see, all different kinds of students in one classroom consisting of just 16 students. That's the first classroom I like this, that when I think about all my students, I don't think I've had a classroom where every person practically had a kind of a problem, was special in a certain way. So what did we do in our project? The project, A Rainbow of Emotion, was inspired by a lovely book, which I have here with me. That's Il Monstruo de Colores. It's a book by a Spanish author, Ana Llenas. It's a story of a monster who has a problem because he's confused. His emotions got mixed up. So a friend of his gave him a piece of advice that maybe he should try to tidy the emotions up. Maybe he could take different kinds of jars and put the emotions into different jars. So for example, the Kale monster put happiness into a yellow jar. That's the pop-up book, which I really love. It's fantastic. He put sadness into a blue jar. That's my favorite page from the book. I think I'm a bit melancholic. There's red anger and a jar with black fear. And finally, green calm. Yes. So the Kale monster did some cleaning and he put the emotions into different jars. And this is what we decided to do. We've noticed that our students have got a lot of problems with emotions. So each project group organized a corner of emotions in the classroom. In the corner, you could find the jars, the red jars for anger, the yellow jar for happiness, and so on. And at the beginning of the project, after each school day, at the end of the lesson, the students and their class teacher went to the corner and discussed the emotions from the whole day. They discussed how they felt. If they felt angry, they could say why they felt angry, whether they are still angry or maybe not anymore. So they discussed different situations from the day. And then the students decided which emotion was the prevailing emotions during the day. They could pick up a piece of paper of a certain color and put it into the right jar. When the students got used to this kind of work, we allowed them, or they had a chance to do it on their own during the day. So, for example, when the student got angry for a reason, he or she could go to the back of the classroom, have the time to calm down, to cool off, and when they realized that they are angry, when they thought about it for a second, they could put this red piece of paper into the red jar. And if the student came to the moment of putting the paper into the red jar, it was the moment that they really let the steam off. Yes, that was the moment of releasing those hard emotions. Sometimes, of course, it happened that the student didn't want to do it. If you have students with problems, it's not always perfect that they get angry, they go to the corner, put the red paper into the red jar, and everything's fine. It doesn't always work like that, but it worked in many cases. So that these are our jars of emotions. Another activity inspired by the book was recording a podcast called What's Your Emotion Like? In the book, the emotions are compared using the word like. So we have, for example, let me read. Fear is black like the night and hides in shadows like a scaredy cat. Or sadness is gentle like a blue rainy day. So there are comparisons like this in the book. And we encourage the students to think about their own comparisons. They created their own sentences, saying, for example, happiness is like something or anger is like something. They created those sentences. We recorded the sentences in English, and the sentences were put together into a podcast. And the podcast was published on Spotify for podcasters, which was super fun for the students. Because in the past, if you asked a student, what do you want to be? You would hear, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a police officer. I want to be, I don't know, I want to be a pilot. But now you will hear, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an influencer. So being on Spotify is quite nice. And the students could share the link and could play the podcast to their family and friends. What else? We also had our mascot, and our mascot is here with me. That's the Kale Monster. This is the Kale Monster that the students made together. Maybe you cannot see it well on the cam, but it was really soon by the students. Most of them had a needle in their hand for the first time. There was one boy who used a needle with his granny once, and he was an expert. So he was telling all the students about his experience with this needle. So we had an expert in the class, and each bit has been done by a different student. This monster accompanied us in the classroom. And other project groups had their own mascots. And as you can see, for example, the Italian group decided to hold workshops for the families, and each student had their own mascot. Right. Okay. Since our project is called A Rainbow of Emotions, we had to talk about a rainbow, of course, and we had a series of different scientific experiments to learn about the rainbow and to try to find a rainbow in different places. Okay, and I didn't mention it at the beginning. I think I need to say it now. The activities that I'm presenting are not presented in chronological order. I grouped them to show you some activity times. So please do not be surprised and don't think it's the end of the presentation. If soon you are I grouped the activities. Now say some working with the students from abroad, because that's a great thing. The students, kids generally like spending time together, like meeting new kids, like playing together. And you can do loads of wonderful things in the classroom. But if there are students from Spain, from Germany, from Italy who are doing the same things, if we can watch the videos, if we can have online meetings, it adds an extra value to what we are doing, and it's an extra boost of motivation. So we tried to give our students as much chance for keeping in touch as possible. In this slide, you can see the moment of introducing ourselves. Next, just before Christmas, we exchanged Christmas cards and we made bookmarks. Each student got a personalized bookmark. It was a bookmark looking like a smiley in connection to our project. And at the back, there was a dedication for example, from Emily to John. So each child knew that this bookmark was made especially for them. We also had a Christmas meeting, which is quite typical in projects, a meeting with singing carols and Christmas songs. This meeting was very nice. We had a lot of laugh. It was Guess My Emotion. During this video conference, one group of kids was supposed to mime one of the feelings, one of the emotions, and the other ones were guessing. They were guessing by putting up a picture with a particular emotions and by naming it in English. It was a lot of fun, and we also learned during this video conference that emotions is something universal. We can be from Spain, we can be from Italy, but we can understand each other and we can understand other people's emotions. We can see how they are feeling, and I think that was an important lesson. We also had a spring meeting singing If You're Happy in our national languages. And these are some pictures from our goodbye video conference. Apart from the evaluation that we did, we also painted a goodbye picture using Draw Chat. That's a free application, and it's quite simple and nice to use if you want to get kids draw or paint simultaneously. Kids generally love painting, and if they are painting at the same time with their friends from abroad, that's even more exciting. Right. In our project, we talked a lot about emotions. We talked in our mother tongue, but we also learned the names of feelings and emotions in English during our English lessons. We made some games in Wordwall that we played together. We made a glossary of emotions. That was an ebook with a phrase, I am calm, I am sad, I am happy, I am angry, and so on and so forth. And in each page, the students added, as you can see in the photos, they added the phrase in their own language. The students recorded the pronunciation of these phrases. They provided some pictures, and when the ebook was ready, we went through the book, we repeated the phrases. Some students tried to remember how to say I'm happy in other languages. This ebook was made in Book Creator, a nice tool as well to create some online content. As it was a project involving kids, I cannot imagine having a project without movement. So we talked about emotions, also showed emotions, movement, meaning, and activity, dancing emotions. The students were listening to different pieces of music, and they were moving, they were dancing, they were miming the emotions that they feel when they are listening to music. So the movement must be included if you are working with young learners. Emotions can be also expressed through art. Our next activity is the Museum of Emotions, in which the students looked at different pieces of art, different paintings, pictures, and they were supposed to decide which emotion is portrayed. When all the project group have finished this activity, we compared the results, and it turned out that in some cases the students agreed and they could notice or feel the same emotion, but in some cases we saw that the answers were very different. So again, we had a mini discussion about art and about how different people can understand art in a different way. And actually, we never know what the painter really meant. Yes, so sometimes it's quite a mystery. With kids, it's not enough just to talk about art. So we also had a lot of art activities. One of them was the activity that we called Picasso plates. When we think about Picasso, we usually think about his paintings, but he was always also known for his prints, his sculptures, and ceramics. And ceramics was something that we got interested in. In the art lessons, the students learned about Pablo Picasso, and they were shown some of his works. And later on, we decided to make our own Picasso plates. First of all, the students got a recipe for the salt dough. The recipe was in English. They needed to pick up the right ingredients and weigh the ingredients. And to make this task slightly more interesting, they used the old-fashioned scales that you can see in one of the photos. So they needed to learn how to use this kind of scales. It was a revision of units, by the way. And then the time of kneading the dough came. And kneading the dough, working with hands, manipulating. This is something that kids really like. They like using clay, plasticine, all those slimes and other sticky things. This is what they enjoy. So kneading the dough, it took a long time because everyone needed to take a moment and to knead the dough. But once the dough was finally ready, we started shaping the plates. And as I said before, working with hands is very important, and it's especially important, I think, with the students with some special problems. It helps them focus, to quiet down, and the kids in this class aren't very quiet normally, but when they were shaping the plates, the classroom was super quiet. There was silence because everyone was focused on the plate. Everyone, at first they were playing with it. Later they tried to make the plate as round as possible, as beautiful as possible. They were really focused, and all the kids, even the kids which are sometimes hard to engage, were engaged in making these plates. Then the plates needed to wait, and when they were dry, we painted them. They were trying to paint them Picasso style. Here you can see the works, Our Pupils versus Pablo Picasso. I think they did a really, really good job. Another art activity, it was more about constructing, building, was the land of positive emotions. We asked the students to build, to construct a land of positive emotions, but we gave them quite a lot of freedom in the sense that we didn't organize the work. We just said what they are going to do. They had some materials that they brought from home, some materials that we provided, and they started working. And at first, everyone was working individually. Everyone sat at their desk. Someone was using plasticine, someone was building something using little cardboard boxes, some sticks. Some of the students decided to use pisla beads, those fuse beads. Some of the students used 3D pens. So first, everyone in their own world. But then the moment came when they wanted to put the things on the cardboard. And it was the moment that they needed to start working together because they needed to decide which object should be put there. That if the lake is here, the frog should be somewhere close because frogs like water. So they started talking, explaining, negotiating. I was surprised because they were not arguing. They were making the decisions together, and somehow alone they managed to create this beautiful land of emotions. So it was like a kind of an experiment because we usually tell our students what to do or how to do, especially if they are 7 year old. But here we gave them the task and waited what is going to happen. But the result was really great. Even if they disagreed, they tried to convince their friends. Some some students needed to step back because someone had a different idea, but they managed to do it together, which I think was a success. And one more art activity, traveling emotions. We wanted to do something together with the partners, and we decided that we could try make pictures in international groups. This activity was started by my students, by the Polish group. The students were divided into 5 groups, each group for a different emotion. One group was supposed to paint happiness, one sadness, and so on and so forth, according to the code from the Kalle Monster book. And they started the painting. Next, we sent the started painting to the students from Germany. Next, they traveled to Italy and finally to Spain. And each group of students added something to the picture. And the final result looked like this. These are the emotions painted by the students. The pictures were later exhibited in every country. So when the last group finished painting, the paintings came back to Poland, where we organized an exhibition for the families, for the school community, for the local community, for some authorities. And one of the things that the people could see were those pieces of art. You cannot see it maybe in the photos, but it's not only paint was used, but also some other materials, like pieces of thread. So the main thing used was paint, but some groups used other materials as well. Now maybe a few highlights from the exhibition of our project results. This is what it looked like. We exhibited some pictures showing what we did, the paintings, the jars of emotions, the plates, land of emotions, all the things done by the students. Here are the photos from the opening of the exhibition. The exhibition was open to everyone for a week, and then the paintings traveled to Germany to have another European exhibition. Opening the exhibition was an opportunity for the students to present themselves. And in these photos, you can see the students acting out the story of the Kalle Monster. The students sang songs, recited poems, showed their talents, like playing musical instruments. And I was wondering if all the students will stand there in front of so many people. But I was very happy to see that everyone took part in this performance, took part in the opening of the exhibition. They got a great applause, they got a lot of nice comments, and all those students, good students, bad students, felt appreciated and felt proud of what they did. I'm very happy that they had the courage to be there in front of so many people, and that they had their moment of fame, their moment to shine. Everyone needs some successes. Everyone needs a moment to shine. It motivates us to move on. Okay, and one of the last activities. What makes you happy, what makes you angry, what makes you sad. We asked our students in their national languages, because that's the language that allows them to express their thoughts freely. What makes them feel happy? What makes them feel angry? We put all the students' answers into one film. And then we watched the film, of course. Well, we added subtitles, and the teachers accompanied the students and helped them understand the content. But it was great to hear the students' comments. We were watching the film, and they were commenting like, "Oh, I'm also sad when my mom doesn't allow me to do this," or, "Oh yes, I'm always angry when my brother does this and that." So they could notice that similar situations make us happy, angry, and sad if we are 7 years old. So that was the movie, the film that we made together, and some games. Just before Easter, some people have an egg hunt, and we had a hunt for emotions. We hid some rhyming clues around school, and the students were trying to find the clues. All the tasks were connected with emotions. And the students needed, for example, to make a web of friendship. They needed to release anger. That was an activity with red balloons. And once they have covered all the stations, and when they've collected all the clues, they found the treasure. The treasure was hidden in the box. And in the box, first the students were guessing what the box can contain: gold, sweets, and other things. But when they opened the box, they could see a mirror. And the first reaction is, what's going on? A mirror. But when we told them, okay, you found the treasure, look here, what can you see? It's me. And we said, yes, okay, so you are the treasure. You are very precious. We care about you. You should care about yourself. And of course, later on, the kids got some sweets, stickers. So there was a kind of a prize as well. But we wanted them to understand that they're all important, their emotions are important, and we care about them. And I hope that they will remember this lesson for a long time. So that was our pre-Easter hunt for emotion. And coding activities. And Zapplicode, that's also an application that I can recommend to you. It's free to use, intuitive, quite simple. In this application, you just choose the side of the grid and you click the spots in the grid to get a picture. Later on, you generate the code and you get something like here in the middle of the slide. In this activity, the students made some pictures portraying different kinds of emotions. Then we generated the code and shared the code with our partners, and the partners had to decode our pictures and to name the emotion that we prepared for them. So it was a short activity that we had I think, to celebrate the hour of code, as far as I remember. And a follow-up activity, actually it wasn't planned, but this idea appeared in my head somewhere towards the end of the project. I thought that it could be interesting to try to contact some celebrities, some people that the students like and admire, and to ask about their emotions. The students created, first the student told me who their idols are. We printed out the heads of those idols and they prepared the pages for the book, presenting those people as monsters. So there was the head of celebrity and the body of the monster. We called this book in Polish Księga Potwornie Fajnych Ludzi. So the book of monsterly cool people, meaning the book of really, really cool people. And the students recorded some questions for each idol, and I tried to contact them. We got some replies. Of course, not everyone replied, but we got some replies. And the most exciting reply was the reply from a Polish singer. Some of you may know him, Sławomir, who recorded a message with his wife, a 15-minute long message. That was really lovely that they found the time and answered the students' questions and gave some nice comments. I was very surprised myself and quite happy about the answer, and the students were shocked that this singer is talking to them in a video. These are the things that we did in the Rainbow of Emotions. I don't know if we have the time for a few activities from Discover Yourself. So here is my question. Shall I say something more, or is it the time for questions?
I think we have a few more minutes. Yes, I think
Okay.
a few more minutes.
Okay, so I will, maybe I will just show what we did, and maybe if someone gets interested, I can say something more later about one of the activities. So generally, this activity was done next year after the Rainbow of Emotions with the objective development of personal, social and learning to learn competences. And we wanted the students to understand that they are the part of community, they are a part of a family, and they are a part of the world. We talked a lot about the needs, about desires, and some of the activities that we did was the activity that kindness opens every door, where the students created such kindness keys which we exchanged with the partners, and the keys helped us open the kindness door, which one day appeared in our school hall. The keys that our students made were not enough, but luckily we exchanged the keys with the partners, and the whole set of keys helped us open this special kindness door. We talked a lot about kindness, how to be nice to other students, how to be good friends. We celebrated International Day of Persons with Disabilities. We contacted some organizations in our areas. Together with the partners, we recorded Silent Night with some parts sung in our languages. The Polish team sang a bit of the song, Swedish team, because we also had the Swedish students in this project, part of the song, and so on and so forth. Some groups even met the disabled people, spend some time with them. We had an activity again with Zapli code because kids really liked it. But this time, these were the objects that should scare the worries away. And this time we were not painting, but based on the codes, the students needed to make the objects with pislam beads. You know, these are the fuse beads that you iron and you get an object. And we sent the objects to another schools. So each school and each group right now has this object that should scare the fears away. That's a project from 2 years ago, but one of the classes still has this small thing in their classroom. We talked a lot about needs. We recorded a series of podcasts about needs. We had an activity about based on the story of the Wizard of Oz. That's an activity in which class 3 invented the story and a new character from the book. I think that you all remember it was the story of Dorothy and the dog Toto, and the companions, the lion, who lacked courage and he wanted to be courageous. There was the teen woodman who needed heart, and who else was there? Scarecrow, yeah, Scarecrow who really wanted to have the brain. So each character in the book had different needs and different desires, and the students invented a new character. Class 3 invented the character. Class 2 needed to draw the character based on the story from third graders, and grade 1 prepared a setting. And all those characters from different schools, from different countries, were put together into one book. We read it later. We tried to identify the desires of different characters. We were choosing our favorite character as well. So we collaborated on different levels in the classroom, at school, and then with the partners. We implemented Marshall Rosenberg's philosophy, nonviolent communication. We worked with feeling cards. And we also tried to realize that we are a part of the world. And we planted European garden. We exchanged seeds of some popular plants. We planted them, watched them grow, and as you can see in one of the photos, the students later planted the flowers in the school garden for everyone to see and to admire. We joined the cleanup campaigns. We made eco-instruments. And on Europe Day, we had a special meeting in which each group sang the national anthem. And we also played, so actually it was beating the rhythm of the Ode to the Joy. So that was a performance on the Europe Day. For us to see that we are, members of the class, members of the school, part of the world, and a part of Europe as well. And the last activity that I would like to share with you I'm speaking fast, but I really wanted to share it with you. It's a perfect place to be. Towards the end of the project, we asked our students what uh, would you like to find in a perfect school? What places, what facilities? And first, all the students from all the countries put some entries in Mentimeter, so we had an idea of what the students would like to have in a perfect school. Next, we put the ideas into Copilot, so we used AI, which generated a picture, a map of this perfect school based on the children's answers. And then each group decided to prepare one or two places to present. So, for example, in the photos, you can see some students making the models of a tuck shop, making a hospital for animals, because at schools there should be a place for their own pets. So if there are pets, there needs to be a hospital. So they wanted to have a hospital for pets at school. They made models of these places. And what we did next, we used Octo Studio. It's an application for coding for kids. We took a photo of those models. The students added animations. They recorded 2 or 3 sentences about this place, what kind of place it is. And we downloaded those animations as videos, which were later added to this map on January. So that was the final product of this activity. And it was quite nice for us, the teachers, also to see what the students' dreams are and what they would like to have in a perfect school. And now I think it's time for questions, right?
Exactly. Thank you so much, Joanna, for this wonderful presentation. And yes, it is time for questions. So if anybody has any questions, please either type them in the chat or ask them if you're not afraid to speak. Okay, one question. What was the time frame of all these activities?
Both projects were done throughout the school year. So we started at the beginning of the school year and we finished in June. Some project groups finished earlier because in Italy, for instance, the end of the school year is at the beginning of June. But basically, we started like the end of September, the beginning of October, sorry, and we finished in June.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I have a question. So, well, how did you find the partners for the projects?
Well, the partners were actually, most of the partners were the partners that I've already known. I knew most of the partners from our previous project, also a nice project, To Be or Not to Be. It was a project about bees some years ago. And the cooperation was so nice that we decided to continue working. So the partners from Italy, Germany were the partners that I've known from this To Be or Not to Be. As it comes to the Spanish partner, I used to have classes of English in kindergarten, and we once had a project with stories, coded stories. So when I got this idea for a Rainbow of Emotion, I just contacted my old partner because I knew that she might be interested. And in Discover Yourself, we had a partner from Sweden who I met at a conference. And it was her first project, her first experience with eTwinning, and she was very happy to learn how to collaborate. And next year we continued the collaboration. So actually, if you work a lot in the projects, you get to know a lot of wonderful people. And if you have a special idea, and this idea for the rainbow of emotions was very I contacted the people that I knew that they are very good to work with. So after some years of working, you start, you have a group of eTwinning friends, and it's not only the people that we collaborate on in the project. Now I'm friends with a lot of them. We are in touch, we talk about private things. So eTwinning and virtual exchange programs opens the door not only for the students, but also for us, the teachers. I learned from the teachers, they maybe are learning from me, we are becoming friends. We meet each other in our free time. And if you know the people, I think it's very important for the success.
All right, thank you. There is one more question in the chat, and then Magdalena wants to say something later on. So the question from the chat. Oh, there are more questions from the chat. Okay. So how often did the teachers meet? Did you have regular meetings? Was there a head of organization, or did everyone contribute equally? And something. Yeah, this is one question. So maybe if you could answer this one.
Okay. I was the person who got the idea for the project. As I've said, the Italian partner was the co-founder, and we decided to create a group on WhatsApp, which was quite nice for us to work in the team on everyday basis. So when I do projects, we always meet at first because I may have some ideas, but we always meet, and all the partners interested in the project can contribute. So we brainstorm ideas, we change because maybe I can think that something is nice, but other people can have even more, better ideas. So we always organize a project together, we discuss, and of course we modify the project during the year because sometimes things happen. Sometimes we have a better idea. Sometimes we are short of time because we have planned so many things that we need to modify the project. So we always have a meeting at the beginning. We have a meeting more or less in the middle. If there's need, we meet more often. Like when I was introducing an activity with Genially, some people were new to Genially in one of my projects, so I organized a short meeting just to show the tool to everyone. And we always have an evaluation meeting to look at the results, look at the good things, the bad things, things that could be improved. But I must tell you that having a group somewhere is very useful because, exchanging emails, messages is okay. But if you have a group, everyone answers the questions. We can discuss things on the spot. So in the past, I used to use just email for contacting the partners and video chats. But right now we create some groups, and that's really, really helpful.
All right.
I don't know
Thank you.
if I've answered all the questions. I think so.
Okay. There are more questions from the chat.
Okay.
Okay, Magda, can you wait, or would you like to ask your question now? Okay. So the ones from the chat are one from Sonia. How can inclusive teaching transform a classroom into a dynamic learning community where every student feels valued?
Okay. I think that quite an important thing is when you plan the activities, because I assume that you know your students. So to think about such kinds of activities which will be appealing to different kinds of students. The activities should be versatile. So elements of art, music, movement, films, games, role plays. if your project is diverse, if you have a lot of different activities, there's a high possibility that everyone will find something that they could get interest. It's going to give the students a moment or some points when they can decide about the things to be done. With younger students, it's hard sometimes, but you can. But I think that even with very young learners, we should give them some activities, some bits, some moments in the project when they can discuss things, when they can decide on something, because they are learning here that, well, everyone can have their own idea. We can talk about it. So it's not only that a teacher comes and tells them, okay, we are doing this or we are doing that. If you engage your students, if you give them a chance to do something, even if it's not the same, done the same way as you have planned, but if they have the feeling that they can contribute, that their voices are heard, it's very important. It gives them the courage to be more active, more dynamic, to speak up in the classroom. Giving the students some, I would say it's about diversity of activities, and it's about giving the students some freedom and helping them make some decisions. When they are younger, maybe smaller decisions. When they grow older, more and more decision making.
All right. Thank you so much. There are more questions in the chat. I don't think we will have time to answer them all during this webinar, and Magda has raised hands, so maybe Magda would like to ask her question or say something.
I'd like to ask if were there any difficulties during these two projects that you felt, for example, that it cannot go on, or that students found something very difficult, or you and your partner stuck at some point and you didn't know how to proceed? Did you meet any of that moments?
Mm-hmm. The group of partners was great. So here the collaboration was fantastic. Sometimes, as I said, we needed to make some adjustments, but I don't see it as a problem. It's a normal thing. We plan something, and then it turns out that one of the teachers were absent from school for a long time, so he or she couldn't do a certain activity on time. Sometimes the students went on a trip, or there was the period of flu with many students absent. So things like this happen, but I actually do not see these problems as a problem because for me they are a normal thing, and we always have a kind of a plan for the project. But we are just people, and we can change things, we can modify things, we can listen to our students' voices and add something new. I don't think we had some real problems, and I cannot think about a moment that I thought, okay, it's not going to work. Some small things were happening, like we were busy. Sometimes it was hard to do a part of work on time. Sometimes there was a day when one of the students could have a bad day, and the work didn't look perfect. But as I said, I'm not treating this as a real problem. It's a part of a project. It's a part of our work as a teacher. And if something doesn't work, we are trying to find a solution to make some changes. Yeah.
Thank you.
My voice was off. So thank you so much. I think we should be wrapping up and finishing this webinar. Thank you so much, Joanna, for the inspiring presentation. And well, there are so many fantastic comments in the chat. So please find some time to read that. And of course, I will send them to you. And then if you, yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your presence, for your questions, for attending this webinar.
Yes, thank you very much. And I will be happy to read all the comments. I said that the kids need the moment that they feel appreciated, and us, the teachers, need the same. So it will be like a motivation to continue my work. Thank you very much. I'm going to look at some questions as well. I'm sorry that we didn't have the chance to answer them all, but I think that if you would like to contact me, you can write to the organizers, and we can get in touch later on after the webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So please.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, the
Thank you so
recording will
much.
be there.
Thanks. Bye. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
You too,
The same to you.
everyone. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.